Uh,
Are you ready?
I don't know where I'm at.
What did you say?
Alright. Wait, shit, I have a tear in my eye.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got to do it again. Cut.
Alright, go. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody back to the factory. Yeah, it's your boys, Kevin and Nick. We're back at it. Episode 8.
Episode 8.
Yeah, meaning. So we have adopted the ... naming titles now. So next few are just gonna be title ...
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, as you can notice, my voice is a bit different. Your boy's been sick.
It's his turn now.
It's my turn now, so yeah, you get to hear sick Kevin and healthy Nick. So excuse any cracks and rasps and whatever unpredictable sounds my voice makes, but yeah. But yeah, so this yeah, my brain also is lagging, so I'm on low energy. So yeah,
But the show must go on,
the show must go on. Right, so this episode is more of an extension of last episode purposes. We are gonna be going to a more philosophically foundational level of it, kind of. I think maybe we discussed that quote from Pablo Picasso
Yeah.
last up, which was like differentiated the meaning of life and purpose of life. So we're gonna deal with two popular debates or popular views on the meaning of life. So yeah, the question for this week is existentialism or essentialism. So we're gonna do it a little bit different this time around. We usually have our points and we go one by one, but this one is a very broad topic. Not broad, but like a very complex topic. So we decided, since we are going to be impartial to both views, we're going to do a pros and cons for both views. So we're going to start off with the definition, then we're going to go for like pro con for existentialism,
And then we'll have like a brief conclusion question at the end, basically.
Yeah, and then we'll do a pro con for essentialism, and then we'll have like a general discussion on what we personally think our views align more to. So yeah.
Right. We'll start with existentialism, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Define it for us, Master
No
Nick.
problemo. The meaning for existentialism we have here is a family of philosophical views that emphasize the individual's freedom to create meaning in a world that is inherently without a predetermined purpose. It explores human struggle to live an authentic life, confronting concepts like dread, freedom, and the absurd. The central claim, famously articulated by Jean-Paul Sartre, is that existence precedes essence.
Right. So that's existentialism. And essentialism is basically the converse, which is it's the philosophical view that certain properties are inherent and necessary for a thing to be the kind of thing it is. So unlike existentialism, which states that existence precedes essence, as Nick just said, essentialism argues that essence precedes existence. For an object to exist as what it is, it must possess these essential properties. So that's basically the definition of both views. You'll understand what we mean by existence precedes essence and essence precedes existence, as we discuss. But yeah, why don't we just start with existentialism? So
Yeah, sure.
so we're gonna start off with the points supporting, as I said, pro con pro con pro con. So this is the first pro.
Yeah.
Take it away.
So the first one would be freedom and authenticity. Existentialism puts you in the driver's seats of your own life. There is something empowering about the idea that you're not locked into a predetermined essence or role, and that you get to actively create who you are through your choices. This resonates with how we actually experience decision making. It feels like we're authoring our own story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this really aligns with like more of your view from last episode of purpose.
Yeah, for sure. I would
Yeah.
definitely say so.
And I found myself surprisingly leaning more into this view as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
In the sense of free will, like in it, like I need to phrase this. My brain is lagging so bad. Right. So it's kind of like, as I said, free will. Like we all have free will, and existentialism is pretty much taking the extreme case of free will. Right. So I'm not like arguing that it doesn't exist. Obviously, we do author our own stories, and we do have an active role
In creating who we are, basically.
yeah, in creating who we are, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I don't disagree with this. Yeah, I guess, I mean, I'll explain my view on, I mean, we both will explain our view more on a personal level, like as we take the bridge questions. But yeah, I mean, do you have anything to add to this, pro?
No, I don't. No.
I would say it's a
It's all
really
right
nice
there.
pro, no?
No, it really is, right?
Yeah.
There's no predetermined decisions made for you. You have full control of who you are, who you get to be, what you want to do.
Yeah. Sounds pretty good. But yeah, moving on to the con, the first con, the burden of radical freedom. So this is the flip side. So not everyone experiences life as a blank slate. This also ties into your arguments in prior episodes.
Yeah, so you're gonna see me dive into these points much deeper.
Yeah. So yeah, not everyone experiences life as a blank slate. Your genetics, socioeconomic background, trauma, neurochemistry, etc. These things significantly constrain your choices. So existentialism can feel privileged and almost naive about how much freedom people actually have to reinvent themselves. So what's your view on this con per se of existentialism?
What's my view?
Like, do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it?
I would say I mostly agree with it, because like all those things that are listed there: socioeconomic background, trauma, neurochemistry, genetics. It's they're basically the tools, or how we those affect how we interact with the environment around us. So it's definitely why I agree with it mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like the two things that I see that you can't change here, at least from the stuff that is listed, is genetics and neurochemistry. And that's also a bit iffy here and there given modern medicine, but
True medication, I guess.
yeah, but socioeconomic background and trauma are things that can certainly be changed and dealt with.
They can be dealt with. I don't know if they can be. Maybe socioeconomic.
Like socioeconomic can be
maybe.
changed and trauma can
But
be
I don't know
dealt
about
with.
trauma. I feel like you deal with it, not necessarily.
Yeah. I mean, not changing trauma. I mean, like
Which,
dealing with trauma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a way, I mean, yeah, I mean the extreme that existentialism does provide is privileged in a sense and naive, but I don't think it's not as privileged or naive as this critique makes it out to be.
Mm.
Like I think there is, um, even with those factors listed, there is quite a lot of freedom you can do to quote unquote reinvent yourself
For sure.
through your choices. So yeah, I mean, uh, but then that also means it's equally. I think this will be touched upon on a later con or something. But yeah, that, or is it in a pro? I don't know. But I can't see, bro. But basically, with the more freedom you have, the more responsibility you
Oh
also
no, for
have
sure, for sure.
over your own
With
self
great
and
power
choices.
comes great responsibility.
The great Ben Parker. But yeah. But yeah, anything to add to that?
No, no.
All right, cool. So you can take away second pro.
So the second one would be responding to modern alienation. In a world where traditional structures, religion, rigid societal roles have loosened, existentialism offers a framework that doesn't rely on external authorities to tell you who you should be. You define your own meaning in a indifferent universe which feels honest about the human condition.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I agree. I agree, especially yeah. Like it says, in the modern world now that rigid social roles have loosened, existentialism, it gives you a great framework to basically explore different areas that you've never were able to explore before, and it allows you to be more curious about yourself. So
Yeah.
and in the end, the outcome, however flawed it may be, it will definitely feel honest.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I don't know, the way that like indifferent universe is phrased is rubbing me the wrong way, but everything else, yeah, I mean, I would pretty
Oh
much.
no, okay, I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, everything else is pretty much, I would say, fair, especially with like that point on modern society that it does allow you way more freedom nowadays than days prior to, as you said, discover different aspects of yourself and um, like there's no one to quote unquote tell you who you should be. Um, even though, I mean, in certain cultures and certain, um,
I mean, like context matters, but like in
yeah,
general,
yeah, that's why I didn't like the indifferent universe thing, because again, it depends on like
it depends on the
where
context, of
you are
course. Yeah.
and how you're brought up. Because I mean, kind of like touching on back from like the uniqueness episode where we were talking that, what was it? Is uniqueness a privilege or something along those lines of whether it can be expressed or not? So I think that kind of ties into this, where even though you do have, like, if you're taking the world in general, yes, you do have more freedom than you did prior to explore yourself. But again, it depends on where, like, how you're, or like what the culture you're in is. Because some cultures are not as exploratory than others. So, yeah. I guess this is where like the more naivety and idealistic version of existentialism starts creeping in. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts. Anything to add?
No, I agree. Context does affect all of this in the end. Yeah, context always matters.
All right. And the next con is anxiety and meaninglessness. Um, if there's no inherent essence or cosmic meaning, some people find this terrifying rather than liberating. The existentialist answer of create your own meaning can feel like being handed an empty canvas when you're desperately looking for a map. So I would say this is a very real con,
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
like for at least a lot of people,
For sure.
sure. But what's your view on it? Like, do you think that it, regardless of whether it exists or not, do you think it should be a con, or
Um,
do
I
you
can't speak for other people, but I can definitely see why it would be a con for some people, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just having
But like,
that
let's
so
say like
many
in
options.
let's say like in an ideal society, do you think this would still be a con, or would it be
Yeah,
just
why would I not? I would still think it would be a con,
Mm.
right? Because you have to be aware of both. I'd say you have to be aware that there is no meaning, and that is scary, right? Because there's so many unknowns. But at the
Yeah.
same time, all of those unknowns aren't necessarily a bad thing,
Mm.
right? So it's a
Yeah.
you have to find that nice balance of fear and also excitement
Yeah.
for
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You have to tread carefully, right?
I think this con is really the defining line between existentialism and essentialism, where depending on what your answer to this point is, you either choose to lean into more existentialist's view, or you lean more into the essentialist view.
I can see that, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think we'll definitely be touching upon that later on. But yeah, you can take away with the last pro for existentialism.
Sure. Moral responsibility. If existence precedes essence, you can't hide behind that's just how I am, or it's human nature. You're radically responsible for who you become, which creates a deeper sense of ethical accountability for your actions. True. No, I fully agree with that.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. As you said, in great part.
And I guess that also ties in with
Yeah.
anxiety of meaningless, and also with the burden of radical freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you do, if it's
your
good or
own
bad,
conscious
it's because of you. You have to take responsibility for it. But that's just part of being human, I guess. So
in a way, I mean, I agree with that. You can't hide behind that's just how I am. But then there is a human nature, and I will touch upon that in like when we're going to start discussing essentialism. But there is definitely a human nature that does constrain certain moral and ethical limits that you do have when it comes to choices and such. So, but then I do agree that it's more like I don't agree to the extent that existentialism says this to be, but then I do agree that you are like very responsible and accountable for your actions and for who you become. Because even like off recently as well, I've come to realize, and I've also had like these discussions with other people where the more you self-introspect and like look into yourself, you get to see that you have more things are in your control than you think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And like there are so many things that are actually conscious decisions that you make that are just being handled by your subconscious, basically, just because that's like that's just how I am thing. And if you were just conscious about it, you can change that and like get out of that way of life, or like make a different decision, whereas when you did make another decision and stuff like that. So in that sense, I do agree with this, but like I don't agree to the point of like how does it say, radical accountability.
You're radically responsible.
Yeah, radically responsible.
Yeah, I guess this is coming back to that where context matters. There's always
Yeah.
context that you have to take into account.
Yeah.
No, for sure, no.
All right. So yeah, this literally just ties into the con, which is ignoring human commonalities. So by emphasizing radical individuality and choice, existentialism might overlook the deep patterns and universals that do seem to exist across human experience. Things that might suggest we do have some kind of shared nature or essence. So yeah, as I said, like this is the point of existentialism where it starts getting really idealistic and like naive in a sense, where it's kind of it's stating this point under a ideal scenario and doesn't account for like human nature. So yeah, I would say this is like a very real con of existentialism, and probably like this is like when I was going through these concepts, for the most part I was agreeing more with existentialism than I thought I would until I reached this con, and I was like, you know what, yeah. So yeah, it's definitely a very real drawback of this view. But yeah, again, yeah, like I mean, pros and cons. Like it's the cons are very real, but the pros are very real as well.
Yeah, like.
But then in this sense, I feel like pro one and con one were like equally valid. Pro two and con two were like, I feel like the con was like slightly more valid.
The con?
Yeah. In the sense of like how real that situation is.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah, because as we said, like context matters and so on and so forth. And then with pro 3 and con 3, I would say the con was even more valid because of ignoring.
I'd say from the last pro and the last con are almost the same weight as the one before the second one.
Yeah.
Because context does matter, but at the same time, that's not an excuse as well, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right, so that's our thing on existentialism. We'll move on to essentialism, and then we'll get to the real
meat on the
real
bones.
meat
you know?
of the talk. So yeah. So if you're wondering why we're grazing through it, it's because of this. We just want to give a layout to you guys, and then we get into the meaty part of the conversation. But yeah, points supporting essentialism. So now I'll read the pros and you read the cons.
All right, go for it.
Give me a second. Ugh. Yeah. All right. Patterns and predictability. So there do seem to be consistent patterns in human behavior, psychology, and development across cultures and time periods. From evolutionary psychology to universal grammar, there's evidence that humans share fundamental characteristics that shape who we can become, which suggests some form of essence. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, I would say. I agree with
One
that.
way, yeah. And yeah.
Like it's a fundamental point of being human, I would say. It's the commonalities that we do share with the rest of the species. So
Instincts, yeah.
Yeah, you can take
Yeah.
it.
So the con, the first one would be historical misuse. Essentialist thinking has been weaponized to justify race.
Yeah.
Essentialist.
Sensitive words, trigger warning.
Oh no, it wasn't about that. I just completely misread.
Yeah.
Right. Essentialist thinking has been weaponized to justify racism, sexism, homophobia, and other forms of oppression by claiming certain groups have fixed inferior essences. Even well-intentioned essentialism can trap people in limiting categories and expectations.
Yeah. What's your take on this?
I agree.
Yeah, it's a very real,
Right? It's a
very real dark side of how
We have a long list of so many historical events and
yeah,
modern events that can tackle all of these.
yeah. It's
So,
sadly
yeah.
a very real um, misuse of said point, and the way that some people um, use it to gain power over others. But
No,
hey,
what can you
that's
do?
that's
Yeah.
just how the world is and was. So, but yeah, moving on to the next pro: identity and continuity. Essentialism helps explain why you're recognizably you over time. This kind of touches on the identities
Yeah.
part. Despite challenging circumstances, there's something stable and core to your identity that persists, which gives life coherence and allows for meaningful personal growth rather than just random transformation. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be said. We literally
We
took
talked about this, yeah.
we
for
did
2
two
episodes on
episodes
this,
of
yeah.
literally this. So if you want to know more about it, go watch that.
But we'll talk about it anyways in
Yeah,
the conclusion part. Well, not
yeah.
conclusion, the bridge.
the bridge. Yeah.
The bridge. So for the con for this, it would be underestimating human plasticity. Humans are remarkably adaptable and shaped by culture, experience, and context in ways that rigid essentialism cannot account for. What what looks like essence might just be deeply ingrained social conditioning that can actually change.
Yeah, it's a very
Right?
real possibility.
It's a real possibility, and real.
Yeah,
It has happened
yeah,
and is
indeed,
happening.
indeed. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see. I mean, um, like where each you can't fully devote yourself to one specific view because each view has its own
Flaws.
flaws and drawbacks in the real world.
Exactly.
So that's why I think like the bridge is gonna be very very interesting. But yeah, uh, yeah. Pro three, practical wisdom. So understanding human nature, which is essence, can guide ethical systems, education, psychology, and social structures. If you're not just blank slates, then insights about human needs, capacities, and limitations become genuinely useful rather than oppressive constraints. Yeah, I would say this is how majority of like uh, different systems of the world have been built upon. No,
Yeah.
especially like psychology as well. Given how they try to understand human behavior, the commonalities between human behavior, like trying to decode why it is, what it is, this and that.
Yeah. I can't disagree. No, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And
Yeah,
for the
last
last con, determinism concerns. If your essence is fixed, how much agency do you really have? Strong essentialism can slide into fatalism? Is that what it is?
Fatalism, yeah.
Fatalism, where people feel their potential is capped by their inherent nature, which can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Also a very real possibility.
And it's definitely feelings that people have thought about before. And
Oh,
tried
yeah,
to deal
yeah.
with, so yeah.
One of the things that reminds me of this is like in Haikyuu, Tanaka, when he faced that wall of
Against the Mia twins.
yeah against Inarizaki, when he was being just blocked out every time, and he was like, how do I jump that chasm of whatever? So like in that part he did feel his potential being capped by, because he's not a talent or he's not unique or he's just a normal guy. But then, of course, he didn't entertain that thought for very long. And then, yeah, what happened, and they won the game. So, but yeah, so it's like it's a very it's not it's true in certain conditions. When it comes to certain aspects, I feel that you are capped by your inherent nature, as in like when humans can become God, because you're humans.
Right.
Like in those cases, but like in like real life practical cases where you're like, I can't do such a thing because I'm not a talent, or like I'm not skilled enough to do it. It's a matter of effort.
Exactly.
I would say.
That's just an excuse, right? And that's not
Yeah.
really a reason for you not to try it.
Yeah. So that's where like I would say the pro in existentialism of like you can't hide behind that's just who I am or whatever comes in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, since we have laid this groundwork for y'all, now we get to the real meat of the conversation. So the bridge discussion points. Could there be a middle ground? Maybe humans have certain essential capacities or parameters, like the capacity for language, emotion, social bonding. But how these manifest is radically open and shaped by existence and choice. So this is basically my view on this whole.
Oh no, same.
Debacle.
That's how I saw this. When I saw this whole thing for first, I was like, yeah, I feel like it was definitely gonna end up like that at some point. Because there's a lot of points in both that you can't just ignore because they are true in many ways, right?
Of course, it's like it's definitely like real life is definitely a mix of the two, and even like taking like say like religious faith or whatever, because a lot of people associate religion with essentialism because it restricts freedom. But like from what I understand, it's basically that we all have free will. Like it's not a debatable fact. We do have free will, and that's in the more existentialist. What was that?
It can be debated.
Debated how?
Free will.
How will you say free will is debated?
Because everything is determined because of past experiences and past information that's just passed down to you, you know. So not every choice is made just because it's made because of past information that you got, you know.
It's influenced by the past information, but that doesn't mean it's forcing you to make a choice.
Conversation. Just stick with this.
Bruh. But anyway, so we all have free will. Let's assume in this conversation we all have free will. But it's at least like for let's take Christianity for example. It's about submitting that free will to the essentialist or essentialism of a higher being, which is God in this case. So yeah, it's more about using that free will and submitting it, or is that the right word?
Submitting?
No, not submitting. Well, yeah, in a way. Well, okay, it's more about giving up, not giving up either. It's kind of like letting God use your free will to. No, I'm phrasing this completely wrong.
That doesn't sound right either.
Hold on. Let me think. Well, you continue with your thing of this.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely many essential capacities that we have. Like you said, there's a lot of things that we as a society do. That's how societies are made, right? And there's definitely patterns that groups of people do, because that's just how we survived. That's how we survived in the past. So, yeah, we definitely have capacity for language, emotion, empathy, and it's something that we developed because of I forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I did not listen to the last sentence you were saying. What?
Maybe go back. I said, okay, yeah, so no, so we definitely have capacity for language, emotion, because all of those things came from evolution, and yeah, and that's how we survived in the past, and for sure we still have those things, because that's what, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I found a way to properly phrase this. So yeah, in the case of religion, it's more about aligning your free will to God's will,
Hmm.
and then working hand in hand with that to uh, accomplish a certain purpose and certain goal.
Which would be?
For the human, it would be a relationship with God, and for God, it would be a relationship with humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned this last
Yeah,
time, yeah, I
yeah.
remember. But I guess for somebody that leans more into existentialism, it's more about just
Yeah,
experiencing the
it's like
world,
all.
trying to build something for you, more something
Yeah,
for you.
it's
than,
more, for lack of a better word, more selfish of a view.
more self-centered. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
Not
so
selfish.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah,
Not necessarily selfish, because
narcissistic. Yeah, no, self-centered. Yeah,
right, because even if this whole process is going to be something to build for, or this whole process is going to be you creating a new you, you still want people around you, of course,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
still
of
want to have
course.
relationships,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely more self-centered. Whereas essentialism is kind of um almost herd mentality, like I would say.
possibly,
Kind
yeah,
of.
possibly, yeah. I
Um,
could see why, yeah.
yeah, and like us as humans, I would say again, kind of touches upon our uniqueness episode where we were talking about the balance between fitting in and individuality. I think there should be like a mix between existentialism of its self-centered view mixed in with the herd mentality of essentialism to bring out like a new balanced view that takes the pros of essentialism, the pros of existentialism, and kind of just puts that into practice pretty much. So yeah, I mean,
How about the last part? How these manifest in radically open and shaped by existence and choice? But how these?
yeah. So basically, how the essential properties are manifested. Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
so
yeah, no.
because I mean, um, yeah, this is tying more into uniqueness than into purposes, surprisingly. But
Surprisingly, yeah.
yeah, but yeah, like the way that it's manifested in each person is different to themselves, and the way, as you said, uh, the context to their being, and like their language, their emotion. Like for example, if we take South America, for example, like they all technically speak Spanish, but you've said many times that, not on the pod, but like personally, that like each country pretty much has its own
Oh yes.
language of Spanish. Like you can't really call it the same
Bombilla,
language.
paja. What was the other ones? There's like so many more. Pochoclo, pop. Some people just say popcorn. Some others say I forgot. There's just so many.
Yeah.
There's so many words for one word.
Yeah. So even like in country bases, and like obviously Latin American
Conchita.
Spanish is not the same as Spain
Spain,
Spanish.
yeah.
So it's even like within, not even taking individuals, but like even countries per se.
And to add on to that, even expressions are also so much different.
Have their own like manifestations of said capacities, and even emotions and like social bonding. It's manifested in different ways for different people. So I think that's where like the union between essential qualities or essence like qualities meets uh, the expression of free will,
Mm.
and that's where yeah, it meets up and it comes out as actions.
Mm.
So yeah, I would agree with that point pretty much. You?
Yeah.
Cool. And the other one, does the question need to be either or? Perhaps essence and existence are in constant dialogue. You have some raw materials to work with, but what you build from them is up to you. Yeah. I mean, we pretty much answered this, but
exactly.
yeah, but I like the analogy of like you have some raw materials to work with, but what you build from them is up to you. That's pretty much what
I
we're
like the one
trying to
before
say.
that. It's a constant dialogue. I like that
Yeah.
metaphor. Because it's true.
Yeah,
It's very
and
much
you
true.
can, yeah, and as intelligent beings with intelligent thought, you can lean more into existentialism or essentialism or whichever you want due to your own personal reasons.
Mm.
But then in the end, I don't think you can. I don't think it's possible to live.
In one of the extremes.
Yeah,
It's
to live a
just-
fulfilling life, being entirely existentialist.
Mm.
Because for what? Okay, if we're talking about living entirely existentialist, as we said, it's not going to work in the real world because it's a very. Because if you go into the nitty gritty of it, it's in a very idealistic worldview and a very idealistic scenario. Whereas essentialism also in a way is in a very idealistic.
Yeah, both of them are. Yeah.
Yeah. And as we said, like essentialism has been misused prior and modern day, and yeah, I feel like the more you go into essentialism, it's more like a power play rather than actually expressing that philosophical view for what it is.
It's a slippery slope for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, like, given how greedy human nature is, yeah. So, yeah, this was like a pretty nice, sweet, and short one.
Surprisingly, right? And we
Surprisingly.
agreed on so many points, surprisingly, too.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, right?
I was kind of surprised how popularly debated these two concepts are for like how, because the solution is like in practical use, right? So like, I mean, what's the point of leaning towards one or the other
Exactly.
when you're practicing both essentially in balance? So yeah, but then I still thought it would be kind of interesting to bring this into the pod just to see where we both stand. Because as I said, I was pretty surprised because when I read the definitions of both, I was like, okay, I'm probably more essentialist.
Mm.
But then, as I was going through the points of existentialist, I was like, okay, yeah, no, like those are also very real, valid points. And then going to essentialist points, I was like, yeah, also those are also very real, valid. It was kind of like I was expecting to agree more with the cons of existentialist and the pros of essentialism, but then I found myself relating more with the pros of existentialism and the cons of essentialism equally as I did with the cons and pros of the others. So it was interesting. It was kind of eye opening, and that kind of led me to think of like how other people might, if they took the time to think about it, how they might.
There always you're gonna be some type of mix.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
one or the other. You're always gonna be some type of mix.
Yeah, and like how that would provide a change of perspective as well in the way you, because now you're like more conscious of of what you think.
Mm.
So yeah, and yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's like it's a good conversation to have with like a friend, like
Anybody, yeah, relatives,
anybody.
friends.
Yeah. Like those cousin conversations you have like late in the night.
Yeah, this is a pretty good one to bring up.
This is a topic for that, basically. So it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, but in the end, I still think I'm more essentialist in practice, whereas I think you're more existentialist.
I would say so. I would say so.
Yeah. I mean, considering all that we've shared in the past, what, 8 episodes? Or is this, yeah, past
This
7
episode,
episodes? Yeah, I would say I'm more essentialist, you're more existentialist, but we both have a balance of both, I would say.
That's how it always. That's life.
Yeah,
It's always a
I think,
balance.
Nick really foreshadowed this, I don't know how many episodes ago,
First
but
episode, I think I brought the
probably
balancing
yeah,
thing.
it's a balancing act.
So it's always the
all about
balancing.
balance.
That's all the thing should be.
Yeah. And it's probably going to be like the reoccurring theme of almost every topic that we have in
Because that's the world.
this
That's
podcast.
that's just how the world is. It's always in the uncomfortable
Right.
gray.
Yeah, it's all about balance. But yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of this episode.
Surprisingly, a short episode. I'm very
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah. I'm kind of happy. We should, because our episodes lately have been getting very long, and even though I do enjoy the
They're enjoyable, right?
conversations-
I like the conversations too.
Yeah, even though the conversations are enjoyable, it's kind of hard to sit there and watch it for that long.
But oh
in a
no,
stretch.
agreed.
So
I'd be surprised if somebody actually watched the whole thing.
yeah,
Especially one
yeah.
of the long. What's our longest video? 1 hour and 40?
No, 1 hour 24.
24? I'm pretty sure it's 1 hour and 40. That's whatever. I can check it later. But yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so when the occasional short episode comes along, it's nice.
It's nice. It's nice.
The next episode is going to be very long, given how the first take of it went.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, oh yeah, that also, yeah. So remember that surprise we were talking about last episode?
It did not happen.
Well, I mean, it happened, but things didn't go according to plan. So
Let's just say it got delayed. That's a better
yeah,
way of putting
the
it.
surprise is still coming, but yeah, it's and when it does come, it's going to be a very good surprise, because the conversation was elite.
The conversation was great, yeah.
I genuinely enjoyed that a lot. It's just, yeah, we just had technical difficulties for some reason.
And yeah, now we have to redo it. But you'll see it
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah,
worry.
yeah. Hopefully, if certain factors cooperate, yeah, you guys will get that episode next week. But yeah. As I said, now I think the podcast is now gonna take a bit more of a shift in the way we discuss topics, because as you see, for this one, we took a more pros and cons approach, and then a middle ground approach. Then the topic ahead of this, after the episode after, it's gonna be more of a storytelling kind of episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You
So-
told me about this. You warned me about it. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's good. I think we're gonna start diversifying from the normal point by point by point. It might, the point by point structure might come back here
Oh
and
no, I
there.
think it will. But yeah.
But yeah, I think
Depending-
it's time
depending-
for us to evolve.
Yeah, depending on the topic,
Yeah.
a different structure might be more beneficial.
Yeah, because now, I mean, the upcoming topics we have are very diverse in their natures. So, yeah.
There
But
you go.
yeah, I'm excited to see how I'm excited to see what we are capable of and how we.
Hey, that's the
express
point of
that.
this whole channel.
Right. And you guys are here to witness us go through that journey.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we just do our self-promoting shit now. So.
Oh yeah, sure. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. Oh god.
Subscribe, hit the notification button to stay notified. Hit the like button, it helps.
Yep.
I don't feel as cringy as last time. What else?
Follow us on
Follow
our
us,
socials, or it's just
Oh, Insta
Instagram right
for
now. Yeah.
Yeah, there are stuff being in the works that might come soon.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, Insta just for now. Interact with us in the comments
And also in the chat for Insta as
yeah,
well.
DMs, and we also added a new way for you guys to interact with us. We have an Angel link now, so you can find it in the bio of our Instagram page, and maybe if YouTube finally allows me to, I'll paste the link on the description.
You can't? Not yet?
Not yet, for some reason. They don't trust we're real people, apparently. So, but yeah.
All right, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you can send anonymous messages there, whether it be episode recommendations, episode ideas,
Or even just questions.
just statements, hate comments. I don't know, whatever you want. And yeah, we'll read through it, and we'll probably, if enough of them come along, like in terms of like questions and such, we might do a dedicated like Q&A session or something like that.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
But yeah. So those are the ways you can interact with us. As always,
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. I hope this.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, I hope. All right, wait. That Spotify listeners, your poll have. I think did I put a poll for purposes? I think I did. Maybe I don't know.
I was too
I don't
busy
remember.
that
It was
week, I
2
don't
weeks
remember.
ago. It's our schedules are all mixed up.
Yeah.
But if a poll did not come for purposes, it's definitely coming for this episode. So, yeah, you YouTube listeners as well, if you want to participate in that, head over to Spotify. It's there. And Spotify is a great place for, if you don't want to see our face but listen to our voice. You can. That's the perfect place to see it. So, yep, we love you, Spotify listeners. And yeah, I wish this served as entertainment at the very least and enlightenment at the very most.
You have to cut that, bro. I'm telling you every week at this point.
And yeah, nothing else, right?
Yeah, nothing else.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Peace.